What we need in South Africa is nuclear. And the worst part about it is no one is talking about it. And let me maybe open it up so everybody understands it. If you want to own electricity, you are in a monopoly of note. No one can compete with you. No one can question your prices. Contracts get signed for many years to come. And what these people have done, and I've gotten to the point where I say, if we don't tell young people the truth, we're failing ourselves. What they've done is they've asked themselves the question to say, how can we own electricity in South Africa? They realize that they don't have enough capital to do so. So they go to America, they go to Europe, and they join what I call the climate cult. And I'll explain why this climate change situation is very occultic. Because climate change only works when it comes to Africa. Only Africa should switch off its power stations. Africa, you're going to kill the rest of the world with your coal. Oh, but America and Europe, please, we've got strong winters. We need switch on the coal. We can't let people die. We can't let
Asia as well.
Asia as well, yeah. We can't let our manufacturing stop. Our GDP is dropping. Please switch on the coal. But Africa, focus on solar. You have the sun. Africa, focus on wind. You have good climate. I mean, go to the bush and build a wind power station. And the danger of this is these men have believed it because the thinking capacity is not there. They go into meetings where world leaders say to them, we'll give you 160 billion, a loan of which they took to build.
That's rands.
Yes, that's right.
The $8.5 billion
dollars. Yeah, that in rands about 160.
Okay.
Which you can use to build independent power stations. You own the power stations. So we'll give your government a loan, then you set up little companies and get that money from your government and you build independent power stations. And these guys say, but our people will never allow it. The unions will never allow it. They'll never allow individuals to own electricity. And immediately they say, oh, no problem. Frustrate them. Get them to the point where they will allow them. Where there's a will, there's a way. And the guys say, okay, how do we frustrate them? And they say, let the ANC start looting Eskom. And a company is set up known as Chancellor House. Chancellor House gets every tender there is to get to build power stations. They go to China, they find Hitachi, they say, Hitachi, come through, let's share a share spreading deal, let's work together, let's build power stations. Now, fundamentally, how are we allowing people that have no experience in electricity, politicians, to build power stations? Fundamentally, let's start there. But let's leave that conversation because when I said this to them and when I asked them this, they said to us, so how do you expect us to finance the revolution? And I said, okay, let's leave that conversation. Because if they're saying that they must own entities that loot from the state to finance their revolution and bus people down to FNB Stadium and wherever they need to bus them down and create this euphoria that all the grandmothers are supporting us, everybody's supporting us because they've got funds that they've looted from Eskom, that the same electricity that people don't have, if they want to have electricity, they must just go and look. If that's the narrative that they want to push, then let these people become serious about service delivery. The issues we have today at Eskom can all be backdated to a tender that went out to Chancellor House. 38.5 billion